Shoot the Breeze topic number 1 says, is this the majority or outliers? This, of course, takes us to a link that's going to take us to YouTube. Let me make sure you guys can see my screen. Yes, you can. So we're going to watch this video. Just sit back, take it in, formulate your thoughts, questions you might have for the panelists. And after we've watched the video, we'll discuss it.
Too much information.
That's my bad.
Too much information out here for dudes like that. First of all, salute to black men. Salute to productive black men, right? Salute to y'all. For the simps that's going over there looking for quiches in Kenya, anything that happens to you, whether you get bamboozled, you get finessed, that's on you. That's on you. It's too much information out here. For all you African dudes, you know, you dudes from Kenya that have an issue with what I was talking about, I saw y'all. See, here's the difference between us and you, since y'all always have something to say when we point out things that happen over there. We point out the same things that happen over there that happen over here. See, here's the difference. These quiches don't want you, right? They only want you when they need help, right? They don't want you. They want Brad. But here's the difference. We understand over here, if they don't want you over there, if they have an issue with your skin tone over there, if they don't prefer you, then they have an issue with us too over here. We understand that. We understand they would snake us also. But you look at it as the quiches over here would snake us, but they wouldn't snake you because you just see so much of a huge difference in treatment from these quiches that you're willing to bet money that you would get treated differently. No, see, over here, we're not delusional. We're not delusional. But if you don't have to take my word for it, why don't you take the word of the quiches where you're from? Let's go.
This is Charlotte. And this is?
Tamara.
Charlotte. Black, white, or mixed guys? Which one you like best?
White.
Why white?
Watch what she said, because she can't think of nothing. Watch what she say.
On bed, some.
What? You naughty girl.
She said bed. She said bed. Not because they're providers, not because they're protectors. Bed. Tizzy Tor. Yeah, you Duke, you Kenyan Duke. You over there taking care of them, being protectors, providers. Brad coming through with just Johnson. That's all.
Foreigners, so like, yeah, we're used to black, so.
She says she's used to you, therefore she's tired of you.
Prefer the other.
Okay. What about you?
White.
Why?
Don't know. Don't know. Don't know. Don't.
Cause I don't want to have someone the same color as mine. Not.
She says she don't want to have someone the same color as her.
I'm not trying to be racist or anything.
You can't be racist. You don't have any power.
It's about the culture. We have some sort of culture as black people, and they don't like it.
There you go. There you go. Oh, AC, come on. That's just two of them sitting together. That's not all of them. Oh, I got some more. I got some more for you, Kenyan Duke.
Really?
Yeah.
Why they sleep with everybody in?
Yeah, you guys are pretty gross.
But y'all beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. I know.
God bless y'all with pretty hair.
I know.
Pretty eyes.
I know. Thank you.
Intelligence.
I know.
Look at Bill Gates.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Of course, white guy.
Why white guy? Why?
because they're caring, they have the sense of humor, they're provider, you know. Just few, they're arrogant, but most of them, they are kind people, not like the African style.
She said, not like the Africans guy. and trust us over here. We know that Brad doesn't do anything for them. Brad doesn't take care of them. Brad doesn't marry them. Brad just come through, smash and dash. That's it. Brad is a smash and dash kind of guy when it comes to them. But this is how they feel about you. Oh, AC, what you talking about, man? That's not really them. That you only showing a few. Well, show me some more. Okay, Duke, I got you. Let's go.
Black, white, or mixed guys? What's your preference?
White.
Why?
Yes.
Why?
Because I'm dark, and so I wouldn't want dark colors for myself.
She says she's dark and she wouldn't want dark color for her sons. Meaning, if she was to have children and her sons were dark, she would not love them, like them. She wouldn't care for them. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this self-hatred they have, and this is the reason why you can't be dealing with them, because they just like the Keishas over here. Black men love being black. Keisha, they have an issue with themselves, hatred for themselves. So how can they have any love for you? Any love for you?
You want to have a mixed child?
Yes.
Like Obama?
Yes.
Look at her. Look at her. With the blonde tennis ball. Looking like Bullets Gotti. Bird, Kenyon, Keisha. Come on, Tweety Bird. Show us the bird tricks. What you got?
I haven't told you what the question is, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Black guys, white guys, or mixed guys? What's your preference?
I'd go for white guys because I have a white guy and they are not so arrogant like blacks and they don't brag. And they're so romantic too. White guys are so romantic and they know how to treat women.
Are you kidding me? This is why. This is why I tell you, brothers, don't do anything for them. This I said, don't do nothing for them. Because Brad does nothing for them and it's romantic. She's sitting in the corner in the kitchen, or not kitchen, excuse me. She's sitting in the corner in the salon, right? Look like she's about to do some hair, maybe some braiding. You don't see her in the house. You don't see her in no mansion. You don't see her living a soft girl life. Matter of fact, she's looking pretty rough, right? No, you see them out there working. You see them out there working. You see them out there looking for their next dollar. I'm not saying they're poor. I'm just saying they're not living this soft girl life that they portray dealing with Brad. Look at him. Look at Look at the threads they have on it. No, Brad's not doing anything for them. Anything. And you know, the dudes out there, the Kenyan dudes out there, they get the same treatment. They get the same treatment. That's why I'm not understanding. I'm really having a hard time understanding why dudes are traveling 8,000 miles to get the same Keisha. I don't get it. It's insane, right? It's insane. Does this look like the soft girl life they talking about? She looks rough, walking, looking musty. Let's go. Let's go.
So the question is, white guys, black guys, or mixed? What's your preference?
White guys.
Why? Any particular reason why you like white guys?
I just like them.
She just likes them. That's it. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else. Just like them. I want y'all to pay attention to this one right here because this one is telling. And like I said, the Keishas over there are just like the Keishas over here. Just like the Keishas over here. Listen to what listen to how she answered this question and listen to the reason why she would prefer a black dude.
White, mixed guys, what's your preference?
Since I'm a plus size woman, I like black.
Do you hear that? She said since she's a plus size woman, she likes black. Meaning Brad is not into big backs. And since Brad is not into big backs, right? Her only resort is to give black men what she think they deserve, which is her big back self. The big backian is telling y'all what they think you deserve. This is crazy.
What's that
Okay.
big back part?
That's the reason?
Another reason, I don't know. Yeah, that's the reason.
That's it. There's nothing to it. There's nothing else to it. You Brad ain't into big backs, but if she was to lose weight, right, and become a slim Keisha, she'll be saying no. She's into Brad's, but since she's a big back, high blood pressure, probably got diabetes, probably got a lot of things going on with her, probably got the torpedo feet, sneaks is leaning. Since all that is going on, yeah, black men, right.
What's that big back part?
So I appreciate the interesting commentary coming from
Warner Brothers owns DC Comics.
Yeah.
So a Batman or a Super.
sorry about that. I hate how YouTube switches this shit up. So the panelists and introduce the most recent panelists to join us. Let me just address Musings and Bloom for a second. Musings and Bloom, I'm going to say this respectfully too. I have no reason to disrespect at all. He said that folks generally believe bashing each other would somehow fix the issue. Abuse doesn't fix abuse, it compounds it. And while I agree with that, I also disagree that that's what's happening here. You know what's so funny? Black men are bashed all the time, so much so, and so ingrained to bash black men, we don't even notice it. We just treat it as normal conversation. On Shoot the Breeze, do you know how often We talk about bad black male leadership, be it in the Caribbean and Africa, here in the States, where have you. We talk about we bash bad actors who are black men all the time, but it goes as just normal discourse. But as soon as you have a conversation about black women, it becomes this thing of hate. I have no hate for black women, but I'm not going to sugarcoat the situation. If there's bad actors who are black men, and we get on them for that, call them all types of Uncle Toms and coons and stuff like that. Mute your mic there, Jose. Right? Then what's the issue if we criticize bad actors and Toms and whatnot on the woman's side? So I don't see this issue that you're making it out to be. I will agree with you that there are some panelists who come through and their whole spiel is to just bash black women, and they know who they are, right? I joked about it even last week, right? I will agree that some of that is egregious and over the top, but when there's examples of a bad behavior, there's nothing wrong with pointing it out, and I'll leave it at that. With that said, man, let me welcome in Jose this week. Jose, how are you?
Hello. I'm okay. A bit nervous. Tuesday I'm flying again. Last time was disastrous, and I'm going to take it easy this time, and going to spend a lot of time with my son. I'm well awake this time, so I guess I won't be falling asleep. And thank you for having me.
No problem at all. No problem at all. Jose, I think you saw that video that I just played that was Shoot the Breeze topic number 1. Is this a majority? Is what we saw in that video, is that the majority of our women or just outliers? What say you, Jose?
I'm afraid that we have to. I picked this quote somewhere. I picked this quote up somewhere, and I think it's a natural rule. The longer I walk around with it, the stronger I believe. The stronger is the conviction that it's a natural rule. Woman cater to the actual men in power. That's the quote, and I've been developing that thought. It's a quote from somebody else, but I've been developing it and thinking about it. Maybe it's a natural law. It's a survival mechanism. Imagine 2 city-states, right? Or a city-state, and it's occupied by foreign power, so the men go through life on their knees or bow with their neck bow. Well, you understand what I'm saying? No status or dead or toy boy or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Your city is occupied, and the only power that you have is between the legs of your wife, your daughter, your mother, etc. And may sound a little bit harsh, but that's what we're looking at. I must say, the brother that is criticizing, I must say, if you're African American or me from the Netherlands, if I'm there and I ask them a black from the Netherlands or a Kenyan, they're going to have the same reaction. They are going to weigh their words before they speak, like this European, this American, black or white, I want him to be my friend, or I want him to think of me of being friendly. You understand? So that's what I called pick me in the comments. They want to be there's this stranger. He comes from far away, and yeah, let me see what's in there. You know, who is this guy? I think that's what we're looking at. I think the brother took it too heavy. We have to understand, you know, that's I'm trying to understand our women, and I came to the conclusion that we're looking at a survival mechanism, and yeah, I'm sticking to the quote: "Woman catered to the actual men in power." Thank you.
Yeah, I like that, Joseph. I like that. That's now that in itself is not bashing Black women. Now you can
Exactly.
have another micro debate of, well, women might cater to the man in power, but where's the, and I'm not asking this to be discussed right at this minute, but where's the racial esteem? Where's the racial loyalty? And by
Yes,
the way,
yes. Why are you not at my side, struggling or resisting? Yes, yes. There is
yeah.
betrayal. There is betrayal. Yes. I'm sorry that
And by the way,
I forgot that part. I'm sorry, but thank you.
yeah, no problem. And by the way, the Black men who cross over are traitors as well. This is not one side, but we're so used to talking about Black men all the time in some form or fashion, right? Look at this guy, Pan-Africanism Strikes Back. He just did a thing talking about D.L. Hughley bashing Black men. Like, we're so used to it that when you point it out, like if you point it out, it's strange to people, you know, but it's par for the course. Anyway, Buana, you heard what Joe had to say. What say you?
Yeah, so everyone sometimes speak to their personal experience. Okay, so a man who meets a woman in various different countries, for Kenya, for instance, since we're dealing with Kenya, and he finds that all the women he's met want a bunch of white men. That's his experience. Me personally, I look at it like this. You know, when I'm asking a woman who you prefer, she gonna choose me. You know, she prefer me. You know, because I'm in her face. So, and maybe that's a arrogant thing to say, but I have my own propaganda that come with me. You know, and I can build my own curiosity about myself. So if I'm interested in a woman and she say, "Well, who are you choosing up with?" She gonna choose up with me. You know, as far as he create the narrative, whether it's a white man or a black man or whatever. The white man in Kenya has good press. The white man in Kenya goes to Kenya. First of all, Kenya is a colonized society, by the way, just like the Bahamas is. But the white man in Kenya has very good press. You know, comes to Kenya. He provides jobs to black Kenyan people. He he um he gives a lot of black women who they probably would have watched the quote unquote softer life, or they probably would have watched it on television. So from that experience, that's why they talking like that. You know, so I don't know what the Kenyan guys are doing in Kenya. You know, maybe someone could speak for them brothers in Kenya. But I mean, when I see these kinds of videos, right, I have to ask myself if something like that was conducted in the Bahamas, would that be the same? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. For some, maybe some black women would be like, sure, I would date a white man, but that's black women around or black women in the circle that are in my circle and the women that I've experienced, they are very comfortable with dating black men. Have no issues or problems with it whatsoever. What's interesting in this video is when that
How
question
do you
was
know that, Buana?
asked in my circle.
Yeah, how do you know that? You've had these discussions with them?
No, well, I'll tell you because we have these talks before a whole lot of times. It's not what women, it's not what we talk about, it's what they do, what they practice. We live in a tourism society, so-called a leisure economy, where white men come to this country all the time. Do you know my own woman? Do you know much white men approach her, wanted to date her and things like that? Many white men offering all kind of money, offering all kind of money, not even my kind of money, not even my kind of money. You know, but me personally, what I come with is much more than what they could ever offer her, ever. You know, and also the women in my circle, sisters and so forth and so forth and so forth. These men are producers. They give their wives houses. They give their wife a very comfortable lifestyle. Very comfortable. What people would consider to be middle class. None of these women in this video say, if you had a decision between a white man and a black man, none of them say, I choose my husband. None of them say, I choose the partner that I'm with. They say, I choose the white man. I'm like, most of these women have to be single. You know what I mean? Mostly, but I say their experiences lead them to that conclusion. My experiences didn't lead me to that conclusion. I mean, most of the women I've been around, I think one woman I know married a white man and had a child with a white Englishman, had 2 children for a white Englishman. And he treats her well. It's nothing I could say for that, but 99.90 Kenya, the population of Kenya is what, a couple million? I think like maybe 60 million, something like that. You know, and you take 5 women out of the 60 million Kenyan women and all them choose white men. So in my mind, should I say all the Kenyan women want white men? No, that's kind of unfair. That's kind of unfair. Is Kenya a colonized society where ask any of these women, by the way, ask any of these women, what's their religion? Most of them they say Christians. 99% of them they say Christians. And the ultimate God of Christianity is a Nordic, like we already discussed it before, a white male with long hair or whatever. That is a perception thing. So ultimately, they won't hook up with Jesus. A lot of maybe underneath the surface in the Bahamas, many other black women would like to hook up with Jesus, but they don't have the opportunity. I don't know. But I think that for me, I bring my own propaganda with me, and I don't have this nihilistic view when I meet women that they want to choose a white man over me. I don't have that view. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we are in a competition. And if what I have to offer you is not good enough, I'll move on to the next one, man. I'm not gonna. That's just been my style, and luckily, I have been successful with most of the relationships that I've been in. I've never been in a relationship where I feel like the woman or my partner I'm with really want a white man. I've never experienced that, and maybe some of these brothers have. So I can't really speak to their experience. That's what I believe.
So I'd like to make this point going forward with Shoot the Breeze panelists is let's not respond completely from a personal standpoint. And I'll tell you why I say that. I'm a conscious black man. Most of the people around me are likewise conscious black men and you know, black men and black women. So therefore, I won't see a lot of this stuff, but think about the fact that the so-called conscious community is a small number of black folks. What's the wider population of black folks really dealing with and going through?
That's a fair statement.
If you ever stepped out and had conversations or listened to the conversations of quote unquote unconscious black people, and by the way, this is the reason why prompts like these are good. It's not about bashing anybody. It's about having really fair conversations to open up your mind to a larger issue. In consciousness is one thing. You probably won't see much of this, but guess what? There's some of this in consciousness too, because there's some jet black women and men who are booed up with a white thing, thinking that they could talk about black issues in the black community. But that's a whole other thing.
So,
right?
Coco, that's a fair statement. So, since you say we should be general, let's be general. Has it been your experience? Has it been your generally speaking, has it been your experience? Because you lived in both countries, you live in the Bahamas and you live in the United States of America. Has it been your experience, generally speaking, that most black women want a white man?
It's been my yes, it's been my experience. Again, outside of consciousness, in fact, you'll hear it in language. You'll hear a black person, man or woman, but especially women, you hear them say, so and such white boy is invited to the cookout, or so and such white boy could get it. You hear that all the time, like all the time. And the reason why I paused the video on this image here, there was an interesting piece of dialogue that went on in this image right here. She said, because I'm big, I prefer black men. I want that to sink in. He did a little commentary. Now his commentary is a little janky to be fair, but he did a little commentary on it. Because I'm big, or considered big, I prefer black men. How many women, and as a matter of fact, it doesn't even matter what my experience has been, because again, I'm not trying to personalize the thing, but I'm trying to open up eyes that this could be a real problem that we have going on, that low key, if our women are not conscious, even though we have the same, similar problem, but at a lesser degree in consciousness, but if our women aren't conscious, they'll be walking around here quietly wanting to be with this white boy.
So maybe that's why a lot of our relationships ain't successful. Maybe because when they I don't know. Maybe I just never thought about it like that, and I don't know. Maybe I need to get some greater perspective, because it's just I just never thought about it like that. Maybe.
I agree, and I want to introduce the word settle. They settle with us.
Yeah, that's a great word to introduce here. And again, I'm not talking about women with some consciousness to them, so don't get offended if you're a conscious woman, black woman. Although, like I said, there's that, because that, to me, that's the egregious part. For men and for women, you're conscious and you still go up around these folks. Come on, man. I saw a woman make a video some weeks back talking about sometimes you could be so conscious as a black woman that it leads you to a white man. She tried to make the mathematics make sense. I couldn't make sense of it. All I'm saying is when we zoom out of our comfort zone, which for us will be Pan-Africanism, Garveyism, consciousness, right? Black empowerment. When we zoom out to the majority of our people who are not those things I just listed, what is really going on out here? What is going on out here?
But Koku, okay, since we be in general, black men, and I this is no kind of weirdness to this, right? But black men have style, black men dress nice, black men wear nice clothing. A lot of black men who are productive in productive jobs. I don't see, and then when you compare them to these dusty white guys who don't cut their hair, some of them don't really shower. They come to the Bahamas in sneakers and dirty. I mean, really, I don't see what is the attraction, bro. But besides the Jesus factor, what is the attraction?
They got power. They are associated with power. That's the difference. And by the way, this white boy, one of his fears, because a lot of this stuff that we talk about in terms of power, a lot of it come down to our women, to be real honest. This white boy is afraid. If black guys, with the way we move, just like how Bono described, with how we move, right? How we are looked upon, the cool factor, if you will. You put power behind that, wear the power, man, these guys know, be they white, Japanese, they know their women will come choosing. They know their women will come choosing. This is why they're so worried about their birth rates and all that shit, because they know if we were to get together, our numbers are high, we get this shit together. And again, I'm not even pushing for black men and black women to be with these people, by the way. I'm not a misogynist, right? But I'm talking about what their fear is. Their fear is you make this fun. You make this guy cool. Not only cool, but he has power behind that coolness. These guys are terrified of that. And we should be terrified of that too. We should be terrified of our women going around, and our men too, going. And by the way, I'm tired of saying that because it sounds cheesy, to be honest. But we should be tired of our women, or fearful of our women, choosing up wholesale with these guys. That's a big problem. The only thing that started, I think Trigger Happy said it about the content earlier, but one of the big things stopping it is this woman on the screen that recognizes that, you know what, she probably can get chosen on the other side. So you know what, to bring back Jose's term, let me settle down over here.
But see, here's the thing. I personally look at the world in the other kind of lens, with other kind of lens, because I think most white women want a black man. I think that it's crazy as it seems. I think that yeah, because of they would be like turned away from their families and certain like that. They would date they would mess with a black man in a heartbeat. For instance, many powerful, like you say, we talking about power now. Many powerful white women come to the Bahamas and they will find the most dustiest dude on a street corner to have relationships with. In fact, they'll put them up in the best houses. They'll buy them houses. You know how many Bahamian men, broken, dusty Bahamian men, has met a wealthy American or Western white woman who have financial ability and has put him up, have him living very well in the Bahamas. We saw a video like that where white women were going to the Gambia. So I mean, I don't know if it works in reverse. And
don't get me started.
Because black men have no power. What, as you say in America, because I know a lot of men would perceive power in the Bahamas, but white women do the same thing in reverse. But the black men who they mess with have no power. So what is that? What is that? I personally, secretly, even Japanese women, I think Japanese women secretly want to mess with a black man. But maybe that's my own arrogance. Who knows? Who knows?
Don't get me started about the Gambia and that area, man. I've seen things. Scandinavian woman, Scandinavian woman. I think. Yeah, Dutch ones too. They find a guy. They get hit with the stick and they fall in love, and they a lot of times they marry the guy, and the first hotel where I stayed, the guy was married. His wife had one of the so she built a resort for them, and who them is probably three people, one guy, his local wife, and this Scandinavian woman, and the women died and left everybody everything to them. The entire motel was theirs. I mean, and in another case, I filmed an Italian Brazilian some mixed hippie thing. I shot a documentary about their album that they were shooting there, and in the resort they were staying, that was a Dutch woman, and she left after she found out that the cleaning woman and the 3 children that she had in the 7 years that she was married to the guy was the guy's actual wife. So she left and left everything behind. So yeah, there you go.
In the unconscious world, like Coco was mentioning, there is a slavery kind of dynamic, where it's a master and slave dynamic to that scenario, as he was mentioning. But the other dynamic to that, I believe, there is a curiosity because the system is set up to keep blacks and whites and yellow people and brown people very separate. Even though I know some of my brothers and sisters might disagree, even though we all are part of the human family, I think that there's a curiousness, and I think that curiousness is cause those dynamics to always be interfered with. Because, like you say, Koku, legitimately, all these women here have shown that they want white men. But you could go throughout Europe, you could go throughout England, and you could go throughout many European countries and ask European women the same kinds of questions, and they say they want what? Someone tall, dark, and handsome. Tall, dark. This is why they come to these black countries. So it's not really an indictment on Kenyan women, but if you go across the board, you could make the same kind of argument for European women in Europe loving and wanting to have relationships with non-European men, even though they don't have power.
Yeah, I think the difference would be they might want relations, but not relationships, not to bear children and deal with what it is to go out against your people them and have children, mixed children by other men. They tend to, they'll want to fling or something, sure. That's what we see in the Caribbean all the time, right? But to say they're going to go build a life and be ostracized by their family and their children are going to be redlined against and all this, nah, not like that.
Nah, I disagree, Koku. They want a Barack Obama. They want a black baby, bro. They want a mixed baby, bro. They want a, what do you call it? Serena Williams? No, not Serena Williams. They want a Barack Obama. They will make a Barack Obama, bro. Some of these white women, they want a black baby. They want that black sperm. This seems cool. Okay.
I don't know about that. A lot of them are over. A lot of them come there when they are successful and have money, right? So they have lived the single, independent, successful PhD life, and they it's like they are settling down. They want somebody to spend their latter days together with. That's what I see most of the time. So the ladies are older.
That's a good point. It's often, I'm sorry, Jose, that's a good point. It's often some old hag, man, getting down on the beach in the Caribbean.
I hear that. I hear that argument, but hold on though. Everyone know who Madonna is. Everyone know who Madonna is. If you listen to the various lovers, in particular the black men she dated, Dennis Rodman, there was a Hispanic guy who she was messing with, who is on Vlad TV. It's another black guy. All of them, they consistently say the same thing. Madonna would call them and tell them that she want a black baby. This is what she would tell them. So if that, and this is when she was in her prime years. So if that is, you could make a claim for the older women who are success and full on, but I personally believe that's for most. I think that's for most. I don't think it's stuff for the older women.
Remember, Buana, because I'm old enough to remember Madonna when she first come up. Madonna was ostracized by her community, man. Madonna was like an outlier. It was like put to the side, like pushed out. She was a star because she kind of wasn't accepted in a sense. They don't really rock with Madonna like that. They just rock with the idea that she made a success out of that shit. But she was always castigated by them.
No, but hold on though, Koku. Madonna was the Beyonce of her day. Madonna was the Beyonce of her day. Madonna influenced the minds of many of these so-called liberal white women right now, brother. In her time, many of them.
Yeah, she influenced.
Papa don't preach.
Yeah, Papa don't preach. She influenced the whole of her time, but she wasn't really. Madonna is like, in fact, if you look at Madonna, and I don't know why I'm talking about Madonna, because Madonna don't represent all white women, but Madonna is largely held up by the LGBTQ and stuff for her like promiscuity and out there type of imagery and that kind of thing. She's not the standard white woman. When you head to Jamaica, for example,
she wrote that book. She wrote that book. Remember that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, when you head to Jamaica, there's a lot of like kind of haggard women out there, to be honest. That these fellas, I don't know how these fellas be able to grind these things, but it is what it is. But the idea here is that, by the way, shout out to Daily Affirmations by Pauline and the matron. The matron, when she came in, she said, what did she say? She said, I think these women are infected outliers when you look at all black people. She had said, matron said something else too, but I kind of can't find it now. But anyway, I want to bring the conversation back center. Is this the majority, or are these outliers? Let me ask that definitive question of my panelists. Are these the majority, these women that we saw, or are they outliers?
I would say my thing is I would say outliers. I think it's outliers.
I think I think the first reaction is genuine. Nobody has ever thought about it till the question arrives at them. But when it arrives at them, I imagine the majority imagines that life would run smoother.
Cheryl, can you play referee and click the link? Because you could join the discussion. Because do all black women want a white man? Could you please click the link and come on and give us your analysis on this issue?
Now, Cheryl can come, but that's heavy-handed. No one said that all black women want white men. You know, we clearly stated that. If you look at the unconscious world, I'm telling you, if the opportunity was there for them, a lot of black women is going for it. And I would dare say black men too, right? KW Don said a lot of Asian women born in America choose white men. Let me tell you something, KW Don said. When I was in a doctor's office, maybe about a year or two ago, and for the neighborhood, it was strange to see a Asian woman, pretty Asian woman too, sitting there. And I'm like, what is she doing here? And eventually some little dopey white boy comes out, some kind of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo type shit walks out. And that's what they pull up on. If they have a chance, that's what they're gonna pull, especially in America, like you stated. Cheryl in the chat says black women want financial stability, and those women believe they will only find that stability in white men. So I think that's a sound response from a black woman. And by the way, I was just going to say until I looked up and saw Trigger Happy's thing. When we look at the evidence, the blonde wigs, right, the this, the that. Come on now.
That's a fair argument. That's a fair argument. That's a fair argument. This is the reason why I want Shirley used to come to click the link, because it's like y'all making it hard. The black women making it hard. But I would say that. Are you telling me in Kenya, with the millions of people in Kenya, there is no black man or a bunch of black men who shown that they possess the financial capability or stability to provide and take care of them? Come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on. So that perception is not really meeting reality if they believe that.
Juana, can I tell you something again? Before we move on to Shoot the Breeze, topic number 2, let me tell you something again. And this is where I'm going to make it my personal experience. When it comes to Kenyan women, every Kenyan woman I've ever met has either wanted to be with a white boy but couldn't get him, was with a white boy. Even conscious Kenyan women have been with a white boy or have some white brother-in-law. white stepdaddy, it's a thing. Every time, it's a thing. With that said, let's welcome in Sister Cheryl this week. Sister Cheryl, wanna ask for you to come on. I don't know if you saw the video. I don't know if you heard most of the conversation or not. I think you came in a little bit late. But what are your thoughts on the idea of Black women in Kenya being, interviewed on the street, and when they're asked by this foreigner, by the way, what is your preference, Black man or white man? And they all say white, except for one who says, because I'm a big Black woman, how'd she put it? Because I'm a big Black woman, I choose to be a Black man. How do you feel about that type of thing, Sister Cheryl?
Okay. Hi everyone. So first and foremost, white men. Okay. Usually, it's so many avenues I could take on this, but I did not see the video. I would say that I didn't see the video. I'm not sure what the trend is in Kenya. But usually, when a group of Black women from any see a white man.
Cheryl, are you in a walkie-talkie? I'm hearing a lot of noise.
Hear me better now?
Yeah, much better now. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So usually, like when Black women on the continent they see a white man, it's like I don't know, like it's like they see a rare Pokemon or something like like and then on top of that, usually that white man lets her do whatever she wants, and also there's so many factors in like when they're married, she becomes his fetish, she becomes his sexual fetish, and that's what white men go for. And also, usually, white men go for Black women on the continent or anywhere, um, uh, because they cannot get the women that they wanted in their own culture. I do know that. Now, as for Black women wanting to be with these men, I think it's just the men just let them do kind of whatever they want to do. And yeah, of course, you got the wanting to be white, and that's why most of the Black women that are chosen by white men are like the skinny ones. They look as close to being white as humanly possible without being white. That's usually what they choose. That's why they don't go for the thicker girls, and there's the saying about white men and really really skinny women. It's like they want their women to look like little girls because they like that. That's what they're attracted to. Historically, that's what they're attracted to. So I mean, I guess that's as much as I can say because I didn't see the video. But yeah, I think globally, that's the reason why Black women tend to go for white men is it's not just the money, like it's the social conditioning of Black women into the beauty standards, everything that everybody said is all of that together. So yeah.
Appreciate that, Sister Cheryl. By the way, that's a Black woman. She didn't come on and say we were bashing Black women. We got to discuss these things. We got to dissect these things and try to figure out, man, how can we deal with this? Because we're not in a position to have power. Some of us are trying to see if we could figure out, trying to have the conversations. Some of us are carrying out the actions, like guys who have state seizure, like Traore and them. But we still have these little issues. We got to figure them out in the meantime. We got to figure out some way to have race loyalties amongst the genders as well as gender loyalties amongst each other. So these conversations have to be had, man. But I appreciate.
Can I ask Cheryl a question though? Can I ask her a question? So Koku tell me, in the unconscious world, I know Shirley's is in the conscious world. But in unconscious world community, in Black community in Philadelphia, do you find it that generally speaking, that most Black women around in the general area, unconscious world, that they really would rather date and marry a white man or a Black man?
If the opportunity was there. Go ahead, Sister Show. You're muted if you're talking. All right, maybe Sister Cheryl stepped away from the computer. Yeah. But in the meantime, man, let's go to Shooter Breeze topic number 2. That was a good discussion. I mean, we're on a roll here where the first topic is usually like an hour long now. So very interesting. Very good discussion. I'll give Trigger Happy the last word. He says, honestly, the real topic is how do Black men avoid Black women like this? To me, any Black woman in this video is not suitable to raise Black children unless they change. And to me, Trigger, I'll tell you the truth. I think the real topic here is how do we stop the creation of Black women like this? Because at some point we're gonna run out of women to avoid if we don't nip the behavior in the bud. If you get what I'm saying, right? Let's go to Shooter Breeze topic number 2. Shooter Breeze.